Canada's immigration minister made another announcement on December 17, 2024 to further strengthen the Canadian immigration system, to further enforce border security, to further ensure safety and compliance at the border, and to further reduce immigration fraud happening in Canada.
We're proposing new measures to strengthen the integrity of the immigration system. The first is to put an end to an irritant with the U.S., which is a practice known as flag polling. People that leave Canada with no intention to go back, no intention to spend any time in the U.S., but then immediately go back in to get quicker processing at the border, where they would have to wait in Canada. Flag polling uses up valuable resources on both sides of the border, slows border traffic, and prevents officers on both sides of the border from focusing on more critical tasks. When this change comes into effect, temporary residents already in Canada will have to apply online to extend their stay, and flag polling will no longer be an option.
Now, with this announcement, there has been a lot of uproar. There is a lot of tensions in the community, in the folks who had certain things planned, but now with these changes that are expected to be implemented soon, all the plans are being devastated. What these changes are, what did the minister announce? We'll find out in this video, so stay tuned until the end. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Dhruv. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. At our firm Effizient, we assist all prospective immigrants with their immigration to Canada. If you are interested, if you are an aspirant, if you have questions, here is our contact information. If you would like to talk to me personally, the link to book an appointment is in the description. Feel free to book an appointment, feel free to get in touch, and I would be happy to assist you. Now, Minister Miller talked about two major changes, one pertaining to flag polling and other pertaining to LMIA points in Express Entry. But before we go into the detail, let's answer the comment of the week. This is a very practical and a very good question. The question is that I have filed an open work permit application since September 2024. This was a random application and I just received my PNP, but I need to extend my work permit. Can I use the letter of employment and update it on my open work permit application through a web form? Would it get approved? Excellent question. Now you can definitely upload your letter of employment, the offer of employment number, and the proof of employer compliance fee payment to that application via web form. Give them an explanation and request them to consider that work permit application now for a closed work permit or whatever kind of work permit you are trying to apply. And you can hope that IRCC will consider it. However, you need to be mindful any document that you submit via web form sometimes does not reach the IRCC officer before a decision is made, or sometimes it never reaches them. So there is a risk in that approach. You can also do this, that you submit these documents via web form, but at the same time, just to be on the safe side, submit a fresh application which would be considered for your work permit based on PNP nomination. So I hope this helps. Now coming back to the announcement by the Immigration Minister, Honorable Mark Miller, the announcement on December the 17th were about multiple topics, about flag polling, about the LMIA fraud, about asylum program. But the two most important things that we're going to talk about in this video is the flag polling announcement and the announcement to make amendments to the LMIA program, such as removing 50 points in Express Entry. First of all, let's talk about flag polling. Now, what is flag polling? Flag polling is a practice where a temporary resident in Canada would cross the border into the United States. However, they either don't have a valid US visa, or even if they have a US visa, they just turn around at the border to come back to the Canadian entrance, Canadian check post. They see the immigration officials or the CBSA officials at the Canadian border post, and over there they seek immigration services. Now, in a lot of cases, through this process, they are able to seek faster on the spot service for getting issued a work permit, for example, and they are able to obtain quicker decisions, quicker documents through this process. Now, the Immigration Minister Mark Miller says that This ends up using resources on both sides of the border, both on Canadian side and the American side, and slows things down. So they want to put an end to this. Now, what means if the flagpoling ends? That means if you were eligible to apply at the border, now you'll have to apply from inside Canada, which means you may have to wait longer for decisions on, say, your work permits. On top of that, immigration recently ended a public policy where visitors could apply for work permits from inside the country, from inside Canada. With that coming to an end, now the only options that visitors had to obtain a work permit was to flagpole and then get the work permit at the border if they had a valid LMIA, for example. Now, if flagpoling ends, then they would have no choice but to go back home, apply for a work permit, and come from there. Now, this discourages all those folks who would enter Canada as a visitor and then change their status from visitor to worker. Now they'll have to arrange for an LMIA or any other eligibility for a work permit, and they'll have to apply for a work permit from back in their home country because they would not be able to convert their visitor to worker in Canada once the flagpoling ends. Second big change that they're announcing is that they're intending to cancel the extra points that are awarded for an LMIA under Express Entry. For your knowledge, in the Canadian Express Entry system, 50 points are awarded for job offers in tier level 0, 1, 2, and 3, which are supported by an LMIA. If the job offer is in tier categories 00, those are executive positions, then 200 points are awarded under the Express Entry system. With these additional points, people are able to better meet cutoffs. They are able to leverage the job offer that they have with an employer inside Canada to gain extra points in Express Entry. If IRCC ends this extra points, the LMIAs would no longer be required for PR support, and hence all of that will go away, and also potentially the score cutoffs may reduce because of that. Now, this change is kind of an abrupt change. A lot of folks were planning on getting LMIAs. All of them are waiting on approvals on their LMIA applications that have been submitted months ago. Maybe for some cases it's been since March this year, 8-10 months ago. The applications are still under process. They were counting on these applications to further their immigration procedures in Canada. But if the government ends these extra points, all of that will go to waste. Now, how the government will implement these changes with regards to Express Entry, it's not official, it's not known yet. Whether it would be a subset of points that will be reduced, whether it would be limited to 00 category or to 0, 1, 2, 3 tier categories, we don't know yet. So for that, you have to stay tuned. We'll update you as soon as the official information is out. Going forth, the effect is going to be that IRCC's Express Entry cutoffs may reduce, because now folks would not be able to score as high because they won't be able to claim points for LMIA. This is good in the long run for folks who are waiting for draws. At the same time, as we approach the next year with fresh quotas, the CEC draws may be bigger, which would also reduce the cutoff scores, and hence hopefully we can see a bit lower cutoff scores than we've been seeing this year so far. That's it for this video, guys. In summary, we've talked about two major changes. One is about flagpoling being ended. The other is LMIA-based points in Express Entry being ended, or considering big changes in that. As things become official, we will update you, we'll let you know. So far from the announcement by Mark Miller, these were the takeaways. Guys, if you found this video useful, if you liked this, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you are notified about any new video that we upload. Also, please share these updates, these videos with your friends who you think will find these useful. This can help a lot of folks who are kind of lost, who are trying to find their way, or who don't know what the changes are. They can essentially plan in a better way by just using or watching the simple few minutes video. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Hopefully, as the year end approaches, the year ends for you in a better way than it has been so far. Hopefully, you get some time to spend with your loved ones. Thanks again for tuning, and I'll see you in the next video.